Hey freshmen, my name is Miranda Whittington. I am your ninth grade school counselor. My office is located across the hall from criminal justice and right beside the nurse. Today we're going to learn a little bit about what I do and how I can help you have a successful high school experience at Cleveland High School. So kiddos come and see me for a lot of different reasons. Usually in high school, it's for academic counseling. I will help you with your schedule. I will help you with schedule changes. I'll make sure that you're on track to graduate. Sometimes kids don't know about specific classes, and we'll talk about those, GPAs, and if you're not doing well, we'll most certainly have some conversations. But sometimes kids are just having some different issues, usually conflict between parents or between friends or some drama that's going on. And sometimes it's just needing somebody to talk to and somebody to just listen and get some things out of your head. So I see students for a wide variety of things, and you're always welcome at my office. Okay, so whenever you come into my office, I am bound by the same laws as doctors and lawyers, and that means that anything that we talk about in my office, it stays in my office. I don't tell anybody what we talk about, but there are some rules and some laws that I have to follow as a school counselor and as an educator to make sure that you're being safe. So rule 1 is if you tell me that you're hurting yourself. 2 is if you tell me that someone is hurting you, or 3, if you're planning on hurting someone else or hurting yourself, I do have to call your parent. My job is to make sure that you're safe. And if any of those 3 things are happening, then you are not safe, and I do have to call home and tell an adult. So let's say, knowing those things, you might not want to come and talk to me, or let's say something is happening after school and you're not really sure what to do. I want to make sure that you have some resources on hand to help you in those situations. So the first resource is the suicide helpline. The suicide helpline is not just for you, but it's also if you're worried that somebody else is thinking about committing suicide. You can call the 1-800-273-8255. In just a few minutes, we're actually going to watch a video about what you can do if you think that someone is thinking about committing suicide, or things that you can say, and also some more resources. The crisis text line is awesome if you don't have minutes on your phone, but you are able to text. You text to 741-741, and you'll actually be texting with a healthcare provider, a legitimate counselor. The cool thing about crisis text line is they deal with anything from like self-esteem issues up to depression or suicidal thoughts and everything in between. So that's a really great resource as well.
I have my ups and downs, just like anybody else.
Maybe more than anybody else.
I can be hard to figure out.
And I like my privacy.
I don't want you looking over my shoulder all the time.
But you know your kid better than anybody else. And if you think he's acting different than usual...
Acting really down, crying all the time for no good reason.
Or getting really mad.
Not able to sleep, or sleeping too much.
Shutting her friends out or giving her stuff away.
Acting reckless, drinking, using drugs, staying out late.
Suddenly not doing stuff he used to love.
Or doing stuff that's just not like him.
It might be nothing to worry about. It might just be high school.
Or it might be something more. He might be depressed.
Not just feeling down, really depressed.
It might be that your kid is thinking about killing himself.
It happens. More than you think. More than it should.
And people say, I had no idea.
I thought it was just a phase he was going through.
I never thought she'd do it.
I wish he'd come to me.
I wish he'd said something.
I wish I'd said something.
When it's too late. So if you think your kid's acting different, if she seems like a different person, say something.
Say, what's wrong? How can I help?
And ask straight out. Are you thinking about killing yourself?
It doesn't hurt to ask. In fact, it helps.
When people are thinking about killing themselves, they want somebody to ask.
They want somebody to care.
Maybe you're afraid you'll make it worse if you ask. Like, you'll put the idea in their head.
Believe me, it doesn't work that way.
It doesn't hurt to ask.
In fact, the best way to keep a teenager from killing herself is to ask, are you thinking about killing yourself?
And what if they say yes?
Or maybe.
Or sometimes,
Well, here's what you don't say.
That's crazy.
Don't be such a drama
you're
queen.
making too much of this.
That boy's not worth killing
Yourself.
over.
That's not going to solve anything.
You're just trying to get attention.
You're not going to kill yourself.
What you do say is,
I'm sorry you're feeling so bad.
How can I help?
We'll get through this together.
Let's keep you safe.
A lot of people think about killing themselves, adults and kids.
most of them never try it, but some of them do. So if your kid says,
I'd be better off dead.
I can't live with
I'm
this.
gonna kill myself,
Take her seriously. Find someone she can talk to about it. Someone who knows how to help.
Sometimes kids want to kill themselves because something happened. A breakup, a failure.
But sometimes it goes deeper, and it's not going to go away by itself.
Get some help. Talk to your doctor.
Or a counselor at school.
Or your minister.
but don't just let it drop.
And make sure that your kid always has someone to turn to. Someone he trusts.
Make a list together right then. 3, 4, 5 names.
Put a suicide hotline number on there too.
Have him keep that list in his wallet so he always knows where to turn.
Make sure your home is safe.
If you have pills she could use to hurt herself, lock them up.
If you have a gun, don't just lock it up. Get it out of the house. The bullets, too.
And one more thing. If you think your kid might be about to hurt himself, don't leave him alone.
Take him to the emergency room.
Call 911 if you have to.
We all have our ups and downs, but sometimes it's more than that.
If you think something's wrong, the only way to find out is to ask.
Ask straight out. Are you thinking about killing yourself?
Don't wait until you're sure. Trust your gut.
Because it never hurts to ask.
And it can make a big difference.
All the difference.
In your kid's life.
Every student deserves to go to school free of fear. However, harassment, intimidation, and bullying are unfortunate realities of today's school environment. Bullying incidents especially have dominated the national headlines over the past few years. Statistics show that 1 in 3 teens report being bullied, and 1 in 10 reported being bullied daily or several times a week. Bullying can happen anywhere at any time. It can be face-to-face, through text messages, or on social media sites. Bullying is not limited by age, gender, education, or socioeconomic level. Anyone can be a victim. Bullying can be devastating in a student's life and can cause lasting harm. It is not a phase that kids go through or just a normal part of growing up. It should never be ignored. So how do you know if you're being bullied? Abusive situations that are defined as bullying incidents have 3 main characteristics. Harm. Someone gets hurt physically, socially, or emotionally. Unfair match. One person or group does not have the physical, verbal, or social skills to effectively contest the other person or group. Repeated occurrences. The harm and unfair match are repeated over a period of time. Other abusive situations, including harassment and intimidation, can be harmful and should be reported. But the combination of these 3 criteria makes bullying especially damaging to the victim. If you think you're being bullied, intimidated, or harassed, we want you to know that there's help. If you're being mistreated, tell an adult now. Bullying, harassment, and intimidation have no place in a school setting or your life. Your parents and your school's administration want to know if you're being mistreated so they can take the appropriate actions to stop the behavior. So you can get the education that you deserve and reach your full potential. There is help and there is hope. Tell an adult today.
So I know that that was some heavy information talking about the suicide helpline and talking about the crisis text line. But at some point in your high school career, if any of those situations come up, then at least you're prepared and you have some resources to help you. As far as the bullying video goes, you guys should have a handbook that you should have received. The bullying guidelines are in this if you want to check it out. Make sure that as soon as something like that starts up, make sure that you talk to Mr. Riggins or you talk to Officer Montgomery, or you can come and find me and I can help you navigate that situation so that we can get that taken care of quickly. I really do care about each and every one of you. I want you to be happy. I want you to be successful. I want you to enjoy coming to school. And I know that every day is not going to be sunshine and roses, but on those rainy days, I just want you to know that you can always come to my office and I will do my best to help you through those days.